Hey, sir, can you step aside? We need to check your ID.
I'm an Assistant U.S. attorney. Here's my badge and ID.
Okay, just wait here while we verify this. Is that a Fed?
I'll be right here.
The clip you just watched shows just a glimpse of what became one of the most shocking public encounters that evening. The downtown bar district was lively. Music spilling out of open doors, laughter echoing across the street, patrons moving between venues. Among them, an Assistant U.S. attorney, calm and unassuming, stood near the entrance of a bar, unaware that a routine security check would soon escalate into a life-altering confrontation. Before we continue, comment below where you're watching from. We want to see how far this story reaches. Thank you as you do so. In the body cam clip, the officer called out, "Hey sir, can you step aside? We need to check your ID." Calmly, the Assistant U.S. attorney responded, "I'm an Assistant U.S. attorney. Here's my badge and ID." Even in those few seconds, the tension was thick. The officer hesitated, muttering, okay, just wait here while we verify this." The lively bar crowd noticed the interaction. Some whispered to each other, others discreetly recorded the exchange on their phones. The officer's frown and shifting weight betrayed his uncertainty. Meanwhile, the attorney stood composed, projecting quiet authority despite being publicly challenged. This small exchange had already set the stage for a dramatic escalation. Minutes stretched as the officers attempted to verify the credentials. The Assistant U.S. attorney remained calm, eyes steady, observing both the officers and the growing attention of bystanders. The murmurs intensified as more people became aware of the unusual stop. Phones were pointed, recording the interaction. Inside the officers, the tension rose. Protocol clashed with reality. They had unknowingly stopped a high-ranking legal official, and the realization loomed just out of reach. The officers radioed their supervisor, voices low but anxious. Their hesitation was visible. Their training could not fully account for the authority standing before them. Every second, the attorney remained patient, a subtle statement of confidence and control. Finally, verification came through, and the officers froze mid-step. Their expressions shifted instantly from cautious authority to sheer shock and embarrassment. The man they had publicly stopped was not just any patron. He was Marcus Hargrove, an Assistant U.S. attorney with 8 years of experience prosecuting high-profile federal cases. Marcus had earned a reputation for integrity, meticulous attention to detail, and unwavering professionalism. For the officers, this was not just a procedural mistake. It was a clash with one of the most respected figures in the federal legal system. The realization hit in waves. The frown that had seemed stern a moment ago now mirrored panic. The officer's hands trembled slightly as he glanced at his partner, who mirrored the same disbelief. Around them, the murmuring crowd intensified, some filming with wide-eyed curiosity, others whispering in shock. The body cam captured every nuance. The shoulder slump, the shallow breath, the quick darting glance at radios, the hesitation in issuing further instructions. Marcus Hargrove remained calm, standing tall, his composure unwavering. Yet the subtle narrowing of his eyes and the measured pause before speaking conveyed the weight of the officer's mistake. Every gesture, a tilt of the head, a slow hand movement, emphasized that he was fully aware of the officer's error and the gravity of what had just occurred. In that moment, the officer's authority evaporated. They realized that their assumptions had nearly humiliated a highly respected federal official, and that a single misjudgment, fueled by bias, could have catastrophic consequences for everyone involved. After verification, the Assistant U.S. attorney nodded politely, a gesture both composed and quietly scolding, then walked away. The officers were left standing, aware that their brief moment of power had collapsed entirely. Internal investigations followed immediately. Every detail from the body cam was reviewed: the initial approach, the dialogue, the hesitation, and the crowd's reaction. The repercussions were swift and severe. The officer who initiated the stop was terminated from the force, facing both public and departmental scrutiny. Evidence revealed procedural failures that compounded the situation: a violation of civil rights, improper use of authority, and failure to follow verification protocols. The culmination of these failures resulted in an 8-month prison sentence, a career destroyed, and a life forever changed. The other officers involved faced reprimands and mandatory retraining. But the lesson for all was clear: appearances can mislead, and assumptions can be catastrophic. Meanwhile, the Assistant U.S. Attorney returned to his duties, maintaining professionalism despite the public humiliation he had been subjected to. For him, the incident was a stark reminder that even in moments of calm, authority can be misjudged, and the public perception of power is fragile. This story is more than a single moment of misjudgment. It is a case study in human bias, the fragility of authority, and the consequences of poor judgment. The body cam footage captured only seconds of tension, but behind it lay layers of social and procedural dynamics. Assumptions based on appearance, the public scrutiny of authority figures, and the invisible pressure officers feel to assert control. The incident highlights the stark reality that even trained professionals can misjudge a situation, and those misjudgments have ripple effects that extend far beyond the initial encounter. A few seconds of hesitation, compounded by bias or protocol missteps, can destroy careers, erode public trust, and leave lasting emotional scars for everyone involved. For viewers, this is a reminder that authority must be tempered with awareness, respect, and humility. Even in the most routine interactions, assumptions about identity and status can lead to dramatic, life-changing consequences. And for the officers involved, the lesson was painfully clear. The law demands vigilance, fairness, and above all, the acknowledgement that appearances can deceive. What would you have done if you were in this situation? Comment your thoughts below, share this story with friends, and subscribe for more real-life police body cam stories.